Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Film Family. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about the new film, Ford versus Ferrari. I'm going to let you guys know that I love this story. I love the Ford GT before the movie even came out, just because of this story. So, full disclosure, I'm biased in this, and it's Ford all the way.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge car person. Prince definitely is. So for me, like, going to this movie, I didn't really have any like fears or anything, but I was, kind of like, will I be interested in the story of a concept, that I'm not huge into, but I was really engaged throughout the whole movie. I thought it was really well done on pretty much every level, and I just had a great time. This is one of my favorite films of the year.
I totally agree. I actually did not want to see this movie at all. I know I've said that in the last couple episodes. I've been dragged to a couple movies. I was pleasantly surprised.
Matt Damon and Christian Bale would get you excited to go see the movie,
That was the
though?
only reason, actually, because I'm not a car person at all,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like car racing or whatever. I mean, I admire it for what it is, but I don't want to watch it. Just like I don't want to watch baseball games.
Yeah.
I'll play baseball, but I don't want to watch it. So. Yeah, but the performances, everything was great about this movie, and I left literally feeling happy.
Doing 50 miles an hour in here?
It didn't get me to that
Definitely
point.
not a car guy, but I wanted to get into a car.
Did you?
And like just
yeah.
shift gears and
Oh,
drive.
no.
And like when a movie is able to do that to you,
Yeah.
I think it's done its
Yeah.
job. And like the same way like The Social Network took something that I'm not interested in, like with Facebook,
Yep.
and made it like just engaging and intriguing to me. It's the same thing this movie did.
Have
I
you
love when
guys
a movie
seen
does it.
Rush?
No.
Just
no.
because that was another good like race movie that I think
Yeah, I've definitely
would be a
heard.
very good comparable, and I would recommend watching it. But yeah, no, I think what I really liked about this movie was I think it had a very poetic feel to it, especially with when he's talking 7,000 RPMs. It was a very kind of a interstellar, like self-reflective. It just had that kind of vibe for me in that regard. But like I said, I really like this story. I thought it was just about time that they made this story because it's the best. Like, America tried to buy Ferrari saying we're all that. Ferrari's like, you make ugly cars. And we're like, you know what? Forget you, screw you, whatever you want to say. We're going to beat you. And then they did 1, 2, and 3, like consecutive years,
Spoiled the movie.
And ever since then, well, no, you should know the story. That's just why I love this thing. And ever since I heard that story and then I've seen the car, the Ford GT has been like hands down my favorite vehicle. I would love to own one. So
Interesting.
Ford.
Yeah, Prince is definitely a Ford guy. I mean,
Built tough.
I thought it was really interesting to even like make me kind of be engaged in the machinations of a car and how it's built. Like when they were talking about gearboxes, I still remember that. I had no idea what that was before I saw this movie, and it's still in my head because of how good the movie was. Christian Bale, what more can I say? He's fantastic in every movie he's in. He's one of the best actors working today.
Hands down.
He is brilliant in this movie as Ken Miles. Matt Damon did a great job, and one of my personal favorite actors working today, John Bernthal, was really good in this movie because
even though he was limited in this movie.
Here's the thing, though. John Bernthal is limited in his career sometimes because people will cast him as a gruff and angry person, and he's clearly great at playing that. And he's great at Fury, Punisher, Walking Dead. Like that's kind of the role he'll get cast for, and he does a great job. And I hope he'll never stop playing that role. But for an actor of his talent, he can do other stuff, and he's really solid in this movie. He's charismatic. The scene where he's pitching the car and like
That's
we need
his
to make
best
it
scene.
stop.
I was gonna say that.
scene.
You could really sense his like nervousness.
No,
in
it was
there.
great, and it was actually pretty reminiscent of this great Mad Men scene. And he was great in this movie, and I liked the whole cast, like the main Ford guy, Henry Ford II, I think.
Yep.
The Enzo Ferrari guy. They were all just really good. And Christian Bale's wife, I forgot the name of the actress.
She really did a good job.
She was really good.
And I
in this
like their
movie.
interactions with both the kid and them as husband
Yeah,
and
Noah
wife. They were
Dubé's
really
son
good.
was really good. It was just a really good cast and great direction, and just a very good film.
I really liked when he was talking to the other driver in the first race, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna outbrake you on this next turn," and he does it. That was so
Well,
funny.
it's funny how in like some pro sports, like players talk trash, but it's like, well, we're in cars. How are we gonna do this?
And hauling
He found a
butt
way.
too, yeah.
And I really like the racing sequences. In the trailer, I remember watching it and being a little worried that there was gonna be CGI because like there was some CGI in the trailer. I was like, oh, is it gonna be too much? But there was.
But here's the thing: I didn't actually. If you see Rush, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. I don't think that the race scenes were actually filmed. Some of them were, like when it's just a car. Yeah, I think a lot of it felt kind of like CGI. And whereas Rush did a lot of CGI, they had a lot of close-ups and range shots, so you didn't really see too much detail, And I just felt that these cars they didn't have the proper detail.
I don't know. I sort of disagree because there was a lot of the shots I actually thought looked really good. There was definitely some wider shots that were CGI. I think because maybe a crane or a dolly couldn't like keep up with the cars or something. I don't know why, but I thought like they looked really good. There was definitely maybe a couple of times I was like, oh, that's probably CGI, but I just thought the racing sequences were engaging enough to make never like in Midway, we were like, geez, like.
Yeah, well, see,
CGI,
that's you're talking about the inside the driving seat, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about when they're showing the cars really close to each other.
Yeah,
I think that's CGI because you can't do that. When it's just the car on the air track or the airport, I think that's real.
Got it.
But and in Rush, I think they just did a better job with that. And that's really my only qualm with this movie.
I made sure to like, you know, when I was in the credits to wait like 2 seconds to see how many stunt drivers there were. There was a lot.
Because,
of course.
Yeah, I'm sure they did some. And there's actually a video of one of the cars that crashed in the movie. They filmed in real life, like the car blowing up. And it was like, geez, like they went all out. And them being authentic helps the movie so much in both presentation but also action. Any movie ever being authentic is going to be better than a movie just, you know, blindly using CG.
It's about cars, so I love this movie. Already very biased, okay? And I was actually a little offended because when I was talking to my girlfriend about it, she's like, is it about family? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, is it Fast and Furious? And I said, oh my God, you just offended me. And I love the Fast and Furious movies. Like, it's not.
No, that I actually think that might be a stigma nowadays because of how in every Fast and Furious movie, there's two things you always hear. One last ride, even though there's more. And then you'll hear him be like, it's all about family. You never leave family. You guys aren't related. Like, what are you doing? But I don't know. I just thought like this movie was, you know, head and shoulders beyond that movie. It's
John Bernthal's pitch scene, Matt Damon talking to Christian Bale's kid after he died at the end. That was a really good scene. And then Christian Bale and Matt Damon, when Matt Damon didn't want to tell him about the development in the race, about him having to slow down. It was a lot of like silence, I think, in there, and I think it just worked so well.
Bale is and at the end, when he's like racing towards the final lap of Le Mans, his like he didn't say a single word, but his eyes and his facial intensity, I think he's sweating too, was just so good. I was like, this guy is just one of the best actors out there. Everything he does is fantastic, and the way even when he's just speaking it earlier, how you can tell he's kind of angry, but he loves the idea of the cars. He loves he probably just loves doing it, which is really cool, you know. Because a lot of professionals at sports are like, I'm good at it, so I'll do it. But, you know, I probably don't even love the game. Or even how he's
talking to himself while he's driving the car. Like, come on, beauty.
Yeah. It's awesome.
He did a great job.
And even, like, to add on to that, is you can see, like, the higher up, the big wigs, you know, the executives, they don't even really care about, you know, they don't love the game, you know. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks because there are people who do that probably just aren't as good as business as you guys. But, you know, and that was kind of, they were sort of played up as antagonists, but you know, I thought they did a really good job.
I mean, I love Carroll Shelby, love Ford. You know, it's all my, this was a movie perfectly for me. People were applauding.
People applauded.
I tried to start some.
Man,
John, really? No one. They did for.
Right when they hit, I was like, nobody. I was like,
going back to Midway, because I'm going to talk about it. This was definitely geared towards that same demographic that Midway was towards, and I felt 100% more patriotic and more involved in this movie than I did with Midway, and it was just much better done. Did anybody know what the budget was, by the way?
Nah,
was it similar or more than Midway? Can we at least have a comparison there? Probably. It has to have been more because there were better actors in this. Like,
but I don't think Christian Bale demands too much.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think Christian, because he does some light movies. I mean,
I'll find out. I'll flash it.
But I think Matt Damon did a really strong
comeback. I'll just say off the top of my head, maybe
I'm not saying he's been anywhere, but this was a great movie for Matt Damon recently.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely better than Midway. This is probably, actually, personally, maybe my favorite car movie I've ever seen. I haven't seen too many. I'm not like a huge car guy, but I thought that it was really engaging. Like,
what are some other car movies?
Rush. I recommend going to see Rush.
No, because I'm curious too. Like I don't. I've heard of Rush. That's Ron Howard.
Rush is really good. Racing movie though, I'm trying to think. There's
Death Race.
Racing is come on.
I've seen all of those, even the.
Yeah, I don't know. There's Cars. I mean, this is definitely better than Cars and Turbo.
Yeah.
This is definitely a great racing movie.
I don't know any racing. Oh, Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Cannonball Run.
Yeah, no, I thought the sequences in the movie were just really good.
Very good.
Like I said, Christian Bale, one of the best performances of the year.
Easy.
It was this year has been so good for acting that I don't even know if I'd say Christian Bale deserves a nomination.
Whoa,
because
really?
There's that many good performances. I'm not saying
so you're gonna deny him because he's constantly good?
No. I'm literally saying there might be 5 better performances. I'd have to think about it. There's a lot of good ones. Plus,
he was when I was watching, because I'm really not tough on that, but I'm like, okay, This field is very tight right now, but
I've never not been impressed by him. Everything he does.
He pulled it off.
And he just loses and gains like 50 pounds like it's nothing. So many people work years to do that.
He made me forget he was like acting. Yeah. And that's the thing. Because I always like see the actor, I'm like, oh, that's Christian Bale.
And Christian Bale can do everything. He can do like those quiet movies. He can do a freak out scene. He can just do anything.
His accent with the way he just like loses it on people.
Everything.
He's like, where in your book does it say that? He's like, I'll handle this. Where in your book does it?
No, he was great. And Matt Damon was really enjoyable.
Matt Damon was great as well. Yeah,
I think
I did not know that Ken Miles died though. After
that
kind of sucks.
That did. Yeah, that was sad. At least I mean, I think he at least hopefully did.
But I felt like that scene right there was handled so well too. It was very pulling on the.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he like died doing what he loved, which was good. And I think like I said, like the cast was all really good and. They probably had maybe the second best bromance besides Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That was a pretty
the way they were fighting. It's like, no, don't get him a pop. No.
No, it was really good. And like I said, the wife was really good. I definitely think she probably deserves nomination.
Yeah.
But so I don't really have anything else to add. This is a really good movie. James Mangold did a fantastic job. He also directed Logan and Walk the Line. So he's he's back. So he's really talented. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely got a certain, I think, style in his movies he likes. He's it's a great movie and go see it. I'm gonna give this movie a 9.3 out of 10.
Nice.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5 just because really the only issue I actually have with it was the CGI could have been used better like it was in Rush, and that was it.
I think with the RPM in the final scenes, it maybe could have been a couple more close-ups. I think those are important in a racing movie. I don't feel like there was enough of those.
To see how hard they're pushing it?
Yeah, just in general, but.
I really love this movie. I'm gonna give it 9.5 as well. I have to because it's something you have to see in theaters with an audience. I think it's very important.
Sound design was great when the cars would whoosh by. And
I mean, I was ready to clap. Yeah. You know, people were clapping around me, so I'm like, okay, I don't have to clap. But like seriously, I was
soundtrack is really good too.
Yeah, so it's like for that to do that to me with someone that doesn't even really care about car racing, that's the power of cinema.
Yeah, and they're also really well edited and when you're even thinking about it from a logistical standpoint, if this guy's going like 220 and he's about to make this turn, like when you're driving in real life, you might be going like 50 and you have to slow down to make a turn. This guy's at 220. He's gonna slow down to 160 to make a turn. It's like, geez, it's crazy. So, but yeah, no, it was an awesome movie. You should go see it.
Little fun fact: that racetrack though that they were practicing on and that he died on is close by. It's in California or in LA area.
Interesting.
Buttonwillow.
Yeah. Go see this movie. Let us know what you thought of it. What's your favorite Christian Bale performance or Matt Damon?
Yeah,
and
let us know.
Like, subscribe, and we will see you next time.